I'm Doug Tallman, reporter with Montgomery Community Media, and I'm with Josh Kurtz, the founder of the Maryland Matters website. Um, and here we've got two old guys, and the topic is women in the election. In this supposedly the year of the woman, we're
Right.
going to, at best, we're going to elect one woman to
To the
the
county
county
council.
council. I believe there is one Republican woman running for, so we could theoretically have two,
Right.
but it still seems like this has not been a stellar year for women candidates across the county.
Right. And remember, too, in the Democratic primary, there was one woman candidate in the six-way race, Rose Krasnow, and she finished third with, I don't know, 15, 16% of the vote. Um, I, I think, you know, being a woman is maybe one of the things that could, if we suddenly wake up after Election Day and Nancy Florine pulled an upset in the county executive race, is it possible that, a surge of women backing her was responsible? I mean, I think maybe. And, if you look at some of the legislative districts, there are, younger women that did win Democratic primaries who are, going to be important fixtures in the legislature and in the county's political scene for a while. But in general, yeah, it's really surprising. And of course, remember too that right now the state doesn't have any women in its congressional delegation, and unless there are a couple of Republican upsets on Election Day, that's going to remain the case.
Wow. So, what's the answer?
Well, I mean, I think the answer is always, you need more women to run, and the more who run, the more who will win. And I think that's certainly if you look at congressional races around the country, I mean, that's proving to be the case. I think there's some, I forget offhand what it is, but a very large number of the Democratic nominees are going to be congressional nominees around the country are women, and that's going to result in more women in the next Congress, and that may be the case in the U.S. Senate too. So it's just get out there, run, and take your chances, and more who run, the more who win.
Okay. So who? But as a Montgomery County voter,
Yeah.
You would think that this would be the area where we would
I
have,
know.
a 50% woman on the council. We'd
Right,
have
right.
50% on our legislative, our Annapolis delegation.
Yeah.
We've got, 3 congressional districts represented in this county. You
Right.
figure one of them would be a
Yeah.
woman. You kind of wonder what went wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say what went wrong, but it's certainly like what happened at any
Right.
rate. And I think, it's there. What can you say? Politics is still sort of a patriarchal system, and that's slowly being chipped away, but
Mhm.
not fast enough. And it's interesting too because Prince George's County is going to get its first woman county executive this year, and Baltimore has had 3 straight women mayors, and so why are we lagging behind in Montgomery County? I don't know. It's an interesting question. There are probably others more qualified to address it than we are, but it's an interesting question.
You don't want to take a stab at it?
No, I mean, I think, politics is cyclical to a degree. Politics is situational. People are always looking for opportunities, men and women, and probably, I'm sure. Well, let's also remember that, I mean, the county council at large race, there are plenty of women running in a humongous field, but I think the top woman finisher was 5th, maybe, or obviously the first 4 place finishers were men. I mean, just there were weird dynamics in that race and in some others. I'm surprised more women didn't run, but if you look at some legislative races, women had some success in them, but it's still interesting, puzzling. But I'm always puzzled by some stuff in the Montgomery County political scene. So this is one of this year's questions, I guess.
So Montgomery County is the most diverse county, I believe, in the state. Um, and yet, do we think is it reasonable to think that the candidates that are representing the county are the most diverse representatives?
Well, it's a very good question, and it's something I've thought about a lot and written about a lot, really, for 20 years now. And I think the short answer is we're getting there. We're not nearly where we ought to be, but if you assume like the county council elections are going to go the way we think they are, I think we're going to have 4 of the 9 members will be people of color. So I mean, you could say that's progress. I think our legislative delegation is slowly getting more diverse. But it's interesting because I've written this before, but in Annapolis and around the state, a lot of people still think Montgomery County is sort of the streets are paved with gold here, and until our legislative delegation really reflects the diversity in the county, it's going to hamper Montgomery County's efforts to, get the recognition that there are, some serious pockets of poverty and some serious legitimate needs here. And if we keep sending what I like to call, suburban white kids to the legislature, when that's not really what our county is about at this stage. Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting conundrum, but we're definitely getting better, just not where we need to be.
And how much of that can be resolved with political redistricting?
That's an interesting question too. We have. It's been a while since I've looked at the numbers. I know that District 20 down in Tacoma Park, Silver Spring is majority minority. I think District 14 in the northeast part of the county is awfully close too. Is that a desirable thing to draw more diverse districts? Is it even possible in the context of redistricting? I'm not sure, but it's something worth discussing the next time redistricting comes around.
Thank you, Josh Kurtz from Maryland Matters. And thank you for watching. For more information, check out our website at mymcmedia.org or Josh's website, marylandmatters.org. And don't forget to vote. Election Day is November 6th.